Less than an hour from now, 3 of President Obama's cabinet secretaries are back on the Hill, trying to sell that agreement to a skeptical Congress. The chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee is California Republican Ed Royce. He runs the hearing. He's my guest now from the Hill. And, sir, welcome back to America's Newsroom.
Good to be with you, Bill.
Your statement says this Iran deal is one of the most important in decades. Your critical question that you need answered today is what then, sir?
Well, our critical question is, how does this make the United States more secure when you have in this agreement at the 11th hour this inclusion of a lifting of the arms embargo, including the embargo on intercontinental ballistic missiles for Iran? In 8 years' time, Iran will now be able to develop ICBMs and target them with the help of Russia. Russia can now sell that technology to Iran. We cannot figure out why this administration would get rolled on that provision.
Now, why do you think?
Well, I think it's because they got into the habit. First it was the question of verification, and 24 hours became 24 days. And then it was the question of whether we lifted the sanctions up front with a signing bonus or over time, and Iran got its way on that. And then Iran didn't have to answer the question about the 12 specific items that the IAEA, the international inspectors, wanted to know. And as they won one concession after another concession, the deal goes multiple decades. They finally latch onto this final agreement. Well, then why not go forward with our ballistic missile program? We're going to have the money to do it. And instead of coming to the Congress on this administration negotiates that and then goes to the United Nations for their approval.
You've got a lot of issues with this deal now. I'm not so sure, based on that answer, you'll agree to this deal in the end anyway. Because I'm not so sure that Secretary Kerry can say anything to convince you. Is that right?
Well, think about it for a minute. We sent a letter, 84% of us in the House of Representatives, Democrats and Republicans, the majority of the Democrats and almost all of the Republicans, stating what I just said in terms of those 4 issues. Don't give those 4 points away to the Iranians in this negotiation, because we knew what the Iranians would be pushing for. We wanted the administration to push back. They did not push back. And as a consequence of that, Iran got a taste of how easy it is to roll this administration. And once they were on a roll, they end up with that last provision, which obviously is the most galling to me. And we've heard the Secretary of Defense say the I in ICBM stands for intercontinental, as can fly from Iran to the United States. Now, this is an administration that's scrapping our anti-ballistic missile defense system, while at the same time going forward with empowering Iran so that they can buy that technology from Russia. No. This does give me grave concerns about this.
Give me a moment here just to slot a couple quick questions in here. Are there any Republicans that you know of now that will vote in favor of this deal?
You know, I do not know at this point, because we're starting the process. But I do know the concerns that my fellow Republicans have, because they share those with me. And I think all of us are quite surprised at the length and the breadth of the concessions to the Iranians in the agreement.
I get it. What about your Democratic colleagues? Will they vote against this?
There has been bipartisan concerns expressed. I don't know, once the vote comes, how that will resolve itself, but right now there are many, many bipartisan concerns. And as I say, the letter that I and my ranking member sent to the administration had the signatures of 84% of the members of the House of Representatives. That shows you the bipartisan concerns with the way the negotiations were going.
It's a high number. That hearing starts in 40 minutes. Ed Royce, thanks for the preview. Live from the Hill today. We will watch for more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bill.